Journey into a new time-bending sci-fi space RPG. Test your fear threshold with a new game from a master of horror. Return to the Tree of Mana. Overcome the darkness within and around you. Adventure, build, and explore a new fantasy world. These are just a few of the experiences you will get from the new games announced at the 2023 Game Awards. Welcome to Gameless Plus. I'm Josh, and these are the top 10 Game Awards 2023 reveals to be excited about. The Game Awards on December 7th, 2023 honored a ton of games, including Game of the Year. While the awards are obviously the main thrust of the show, most people tune in to actually watch the announcements and reveals and the trailers for new games, and this year did not disappoint. Here are the most exciting games to look forward to. Watch to the end to see some surprising bonus reveals that nobody was expecting. Starting the list off at number 10, No Rest for the Wicked. No Rest for the Wicked is a fresh new action RPG from Moon Studios, who made the beloved Ori games. It's described as a visceral, precision action RPG. It's said to be a brutal and epic human saga in a handcrafted world. You play as a mystical holy warrior with remarkable powers sworn to defeat the evil pestilence that has returned to the land. From the visuals to the promise of deliberate and strategic combat, honestly, this game just looks so good to me. It looks like it has some awesome visual storytelling and a great artistic style, and it clearly has some great music to really take us on that journey. We don't get a chance to see a whole lot of the gameplay in this trailer, but from what we do see, it just looks gorgeous and smooth. The top-down gameplay is much like the Diablo games, with a much more whimsical and colorful look. The similarity doesn't end there, as you can play this game's campaign in an online multiplayer co-op mode with up to 3 other players. An early access version will be available on PC in the first quarter of 2024, which will lead to full releases on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. I am most definitely going to be playing this one. Next on the list, at number 9, Visions of Mana. I definitely wasn't expecting another Mana game, and Square Enix showed up to the Game Awards with just that. The first thing I thought when I was watching this trailer was how great it looks. It definitely has that cartoony Mana series art style, but it looks so darn polished. The combat looks pretty straightforward, plenty of sword slashing and magic. Not a whole lot is known about the details of this new adventure, but we do know that it's not going to be a fully open world game, but a lot of rather large, open environments with plenty to explore and discover. The cutesy animation style of this game is basically the polar opposite of some of the other games on today's list, but it is definitely worth mentioning as it is a Square Enix game, the same company that is responsible for all the Final Fantasy games. This franchise has been around since 1993, so this is definitely a big deal. Visions of Mana will be released sometime in 2024 on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. At number 8, Exodus. Exodus is a brand new sci-fi third-person RPG being developed by the brand new studio Archetype Entertainment that consists of developers who have worked on incredible games like Halo, The Last of Us, and Mass Effect. In Exodus, you'll have the opportunity to create a brand new customized character who has fled a dying Earth where humanity has found a new home in a hostile galaxy. You will fight for survival as the Traveler, humanity's last hope. The fact that Matthew McConaughey introduced this game for the very first time to the public at the Game Awards is no coincidence. He starred in the movie Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, a sci-fi movie that heavily featured the concept of time dilation. Time dilation is the idea that time can pass at different rates for people moving at different speeds, making time stretch or shrink depending on the circumstances. In the trailer, we see our main character saying goodbye to his love, who lives her entire lifetime in the short amount of time he experiences, leading the bad guys away. There is so much to dissect and talk about with this game. I am definitely going to be doing a video for this one all by itself, but for now, the trailer definitely makes it look very interesting and cinematic. The gameplay looks sharp and engaging, and we are definitely in store for an awesome, narrative-driven game. There is no release date as of yet, but it's in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Next at number 7, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now I know that this is not a brand new reveal, but this had to be featured on the list today because the trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that they showed at the Game Awards features a nice array of characters from the classic game in their full remastered glory. We have the legendary Cid, Vincent, Cait Sith, and many others featured along with the introduction of a new theme song for the game. The trailer also features Zack from Crisis Core, who seems to be featured in flashbacks much more in Part 2 of this Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. The burning question still remains, will Aerith still die in the remake like she did in the original Final Fantasy VII, or will she live this time around? I personally feel like they just need to stick to the original story because it's one of the most memorable elements of that game. You never know though, things could easily be changed up in a very dramatic way. We'll have to wait and see on February 29th, 2024 when it is released exclusively for PlayStation 5 on 2 discs, which is a throwback to the old days where the original game had 3 discs. It's unnecessary, there are digital downloads these days, but it's a cute idea. Next up at number 6, OD. Sadly, this is not a new Metal Gear game. But this is a new game from Hideo Kojima, the legendary creator of Metal Gear and more recently Death Stranding and the upcoming Death Stranding 2. This is a separate project altogether he's working on with Jordan Peele to create. Jordan Peele is arguably the newest master of horror movies. The uncomfortably close-up face shots of the actors in this trailer is meant to explore the concept of testing your fear threshold and what it means to OD on fear. Kojima himself said that they are taking on the challenge of creating a very unique, immersive, and totally new style of game, or rather a new form of media. This trailer is very strange and somewhat confusing. It's got a sort of uncomfortable artistic feel that definitely made me feel uneasy. There is no release date for this one yet, but it will be exclusive to the Xbox and the PC. Very quickly, if you guys are enjoying this video, this is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. Help me hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I am getting so close. Also, don't forget to hit that little thumbs up button. It really helps a lot. Next on the list at number 5, Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds is the newest iteration in the Monster Hunter universe and will be the first fully open world Monster Hunter game. The last mainline game, Monster Hunter World, came out all the way back in 2018, so fans are more than ready for a next big title in the series. I know many of you are wondering why this falls at number 5 on the list when it was presented as the final reveal at the Game Awards. The simple fact is that I am simply more excited about the rest of the games on the list. Also, Monster Hunter Wilds is not coming out until sometime in 2025. The trailer looked pretty cool, but there wasn't anything in it that really made me too excited. But I'm not a huge fan of the Monster Hunter games myself. I'm sure if you're a big fan, this was much more exciting to you than any of the other things on this list. In any case, it's going to be a while, and I'm sure we will get much more detailed information throughout 2024 as we get closer to its release in 2025. We do know that it's planned for release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. At number 4, Blade. I truly did not see this one coming. Marvel's Blade is a mature, single-player, third-person game set in the heart of Paris. This is from the same development team, Arcane, that brought us Deathloop. According to Bethesda, the game will take place in a quarantined section of Paris in the middle of a supernatural emergency. Given the track record of the game developer, this project is a perfect fit for the artistic style this trailer shows off. Although we don't have any gameplay on display at this point, I'd be willing to bet it's going to be a super slick and fun game. But let's not forget that Arcane's last game was also a vampire game, and it was considered one of the absolute worst games of 2023. Yes, I'm talking about Redfall. Even though that was an abysmal failure, I do have faith that Arcane Studios is going to redeem themselves with our beloved Blade, the half-blood vampire, killing off all the vampires of Paris, along with all the bad memories of Redfall. Let's not forget how great Deathloop really was. There is no official release date, but I'm betting it'll drop sometime in 2024. The big question is, will it be released on PS5 as well as Xbox and PC? The game is being published by Bethesda, which, as you recall, is now owned by Microsoft. The fact that this is a Marvel game, on the other hand, may actually help its case for coming to the PS5 as well. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Next on the list, at number 3, Light No Fire. Light No Fire is from the same studio that brought you No Man's Sky. That game started out as a very underwhelming experience, but then over the last 10 years, they've turned it into a vast universe that people absolutely love. Hello Games intends to do it all over again, this time set on a fantasy planet in Light No Fire. The game is all about adventure, building, survival, and exploration together. It's so cool because you'll be able to construct buildings and communities that will stay there in the grand open world. The game is actually a true open world experience with no boundaries and will be procedurally generated. Something like this has actually never been attempted before on this scale. In this game, you are not the hero of the story. You are part of the entire planet's story. This game has been in development for 5 years already, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's no official release date, but once it's out, you can bet it's going to be an ongoing experience for a very long time to come. Although I have not had the time to dip myself in the pool of No Man's Sky, the fantasy single-planet elements of this game definitely have piqued my interest. I'll be keeping an eye on this one as it gets closer to its release, whenever that is. No word yet specifically on what systems it's going to be available on, but we can assume Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5. No Man's Sky even came out on the Switch, so it stands to reason that this game might be out for that as well, although it might not come out until late 2024, and by then, the Switch 2, or whatever it's going to be called, will probably be out by then, so maybe it'll be a launch title? Dare to dream. Next on our list at number 2, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. This game just looks downright gorgeous. We started seeing snippets of this game all the way back in 2019, and this newest trailer truly shows off the graphical prowess of this incredible game. The new trailer shows a mixture of gameplay and cinematics, but it all looks so seamless and crisp running on the Xbox Series X. This game continues Senua's story following Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. The first game is basically a dark visual novel, very much focused on the performance of the main character. It's a journey through Senua's mind where she struggles through fear, sadness, loss, and finds strength. This game will continue following her as she goes on a journey of survival through the myth and torment of Viking Iceland. There is so much more to be seen than to be talked about with this game, and this trailer gets a bit too gruesome for me to show all the details, but it's looking like a deeply immersive and brutal experience. It will finally be released at some point in 2024 on Xbox Series X and S and PC. And finally, at number 1, Black Myth: Wukong. Originally announced in 2020, the brand new Souls-like Black Myth: Wukong is set to be one of the best games of 2024. This action RPG is rooted in Chinese mythology, and it's based on Journey to the West, which is a super old, super famous old Chinese novel. Again, while this game was not a surprise in terms of news at the Game Awards, the new story trailer shows off the awesome variety and beautiful visual style that is bound to wow us when it's finally released. People who have already played this game say that the controls are fluid and excellent. Apparently you can switch between stances as you fight to mix up different strike patterns in battle. Black Myth promises a series of incredible cinematic fights with crazy bosses, as you would expect from this type of game, and they say the gameplay feels as good as it looks. And it looks gorgeous. I love that you get to play as the Monkey King in this mythological adventure. Along with his monkey form, our protagonist's son Wukong will also be able to transform into different forms with different attacks and powers for each one. This trailer serves as a glimpse of the vast array of strange and interesting characters and creatures that we will be delighted by when it's finally released on August 20th, 2024 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. In addition to all these fantastic looking titles, we were also surprised by some awesome new game expansions. Final Fantasy XVI has not only one, but 2 sexy new expansions. First is Echoes of the Fallen, which is available right now, as well as another expansion coming in the spring of 2024 called The Rising Tide. This game is an awesome surprise to me, and I am definitely going to be playing both of these expansions quite happily. Final Fantasy XVI is a true gem of a game, or should I say crystal. And finally, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, which is also available right now. This completely free DLC takes the foundations of combat of the original game and allows you to explore the new realm of Valhalla with a fresh new roguelike version of the game's familiar hack-and-slash battle system. I love that this game is still delivering over a year after its release. So there you have it, the top 10 Game Awards 2023 reveals to be excited about. I wasn't very excited about 2024's game prospects before these announcements, so now there's actually a lot of great stuff to look forward to in 2024 and beyond. So that's what I think. What do you think? Which of these games do you look forward to playing the most? What do you think is missing from this list? Are you just going to keep playing all the games of 2023 and wait until Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out in 2025? Let's talk about it in the comments below. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time on Game List Plus.
Lock up tight now. Night's just getting started.